Hawkeye, the Jeremy Renner-led superhero show, concludes tonight, December 22nd, and fans will be eager to know the fate of Clint Barton. The show has brought plaudits from all angles, with critics repeating over and over how they appreciate the new direction Marvel are going with this one. A more gritty, street-level show. Stay with us as today we're discussing Hawkeye directors revealing how Kevin Feige saved one epic scene. First up, where are we up to going into the finale? As we know, in episode 4 of the hit show, Clint was accosted by a masked assassin who turned out to be none other than Yelena Belova, who had been sent there to kill him. Episode 5 starts out showing how back in 2018, Belova and her fellow Black Widow, Sonya, pay a visit to a lady named Annie, who was part of the Black Widow development program. Belova falls victim to the blip whilst there. Back in the current day, Eleanor calls the NYPD to have Duskeny arrested after being alerted to goings-on at his shell corporation by Bishop, before the latter returns to her apartment where Belova is waiting her. She admits to Bishop her part in the mission to kill Clint. Elsewhere, Clint dons the Ronin suit again as he confronts Lopez at the place where he killed her father, the auto shop. In a potentially misguided gamble, Barton removes his mask, revealing his true identity, and tries to convince her to leave him and his family alone. He tells her that someone else wanted her father dead, an informant who was working for her boss, which she initially does not believe, but becomes increasingly suspicious of Cassie, who's not there the night her father was killed. The next day, Bishop receives a text from Belova who tells her that she was hired by Eleanor to kill Barton, and that she is working with Lopez's uncle, who we think is Kingpin, before Barton confirms as much. Wow, quite an episode. What do you guys think? So what's up with this Kevin Feige business? Stay with us to find out. While the rest of the Marvel Universe has been awaiting the arrival of the new Spidey movie, Hawkeye has introduced the hardcore fans to a slightly lesser character and has proven to be a hit. The series is pretty dark, not just figuratively but literally. A lot of the action comes at night. British directors Bert and Bertie recently revealed how the massive car chase in episode 3 was originally set to take place at night, before producer Kevin Feige suggested that maybe they should shoot it during the day. His reasoning being that most of the action scenes are during nighttime, so having an epic car chase during the day would provide a nice contrasting counterbalance to the show. And the directing duo have said that the idea ultimately made the car chase scene much better. Cheers, Kevin. Katie Elwood, aka Bertie, had this to say: "It was only after we'd started shooting the show that Kevin was like, there's too much at night. We need to put some sequences in the day, but we'd planned it all at night. And of course, we had all like, hey, you can hide things in the shadows, but then suddenly it was daylight. So we just reconvened with our amazing team and decided to embrace it. We'd already decided to do as much practically as possible, but it drove us to do even more practically. The result was amazing." What did you think about the car chase? What else was said about the scene then? Bertie's partner in crime, Bert, real name Amber Tempermore Finlayson, chimed in by explaining that the cameras are determined by the needs of the characters, before revealing the most important part of this particular scene was how the main characters Clint and Kate bounce off each other and how good their banter is. It's pretty great. We agree, Bert. The director then revealed that the team toiled for hours about how to make the car chase non-generic and different from what we're accustomed to with this sort of action shot. She told fans they were trying to figure out what to do with the camera, as most big-budget movie franchises will have shots from all angles, but she ultimately said the pair settled on keeping the camera on the car. They then came up with an even better idea, having the camera turn and film the action happening all around them, which we thought was a super cool idea. She then revealed that the camera was always going to follow Kate out of the window after the character leaves the car as its character led. We thought that this was the best car chase scenes in recent memory, and it's great to see young directors pushing the boundaries of what is possible and not sticking to tried and trusted methods. What do you guys think is the best car chase of all time? Let us know below. Next up, will there be a season 2? Stay with us to find out. Fans everywhere are desperate to know whether or not the hit show has been renewed for a second season, and will have noticed that Loki was given the go-ahead for a second season, so why not Hawkeye? As of right now, Marvel has not officially given word on whether or not we can expect a second season, but that doesn't mean it definitely won't happen. On the other hand, fans have noticed that the show doesn't really mention that this story needs to continue. What do you guys think? Should we get a second season? We think we definitely should, especially given how the show has been received by fans and critics alike. So what's next, TV show-wise in the MCU? Let's find out. Understandably, given the success of Hawkeye, fans want to know what's next to be churned out of the MCU machine, and they will not be disappointed. This year saw the release of 5 TV shows, the last of which was Hawkeye, and 4 movies in 2022. Seems like it'll carry on in the same vein, which we think is great. First up in 2022 will be Ms. Marvel. Kamala Khan will be played by 16-year-old Iman Vellani, and fans cannot wait to see how she performs. As she's been standard recently with Marvel TV shows, this one will get 6 episodes, and although there is no official release date, it's expected to be with us sometime in the middle of next year. This one has garnered quite a bit of interest as the title character is not an obvious one to be given her own show, but fans are excited at what the show will consist of nonetheless. It will reportedly delve into how Kamala worships the Avengers and, as you can imagine, centers around Captain Marvel. Fans have praised the show's diversity, as Vellani will be the first Muslim actor to play a lead role in a Marvel show. Great. Appearing alongside Vellani will be Mohan Kapoor, Rish Shah, and Matt Lintz, which is another win for Asian representation on screen. The show will just be the beginning for Kamala, as she is set to make an appearance in her first feature film in 2023 in the Captain Marvel sequel, The Marvels. And how about movie-wise? Stick around to find out. Next May sees the release of the long-awaited Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which will be directed by veteran superhero director Sam Raimi. This one was originally set to be directed by Doctor Strange director Scott Dickerson, but he decided to pull out due to the long-used excuse of creative differences. The screenplay was written by Jade Bartlett and Michael Waldron. Like many other movies last year, the Multiverse of Madness saw long delays due to that pesky COVID pandemic, which is still providing obstacles right now, unfortunately. Now that filming has finished, we're just waiting for post-production to complete before we see Benedict Cumberbatch and co-star Rachel McAdams light up our screens next spring. You can also expect appearances from Benedict Wong, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Shidel Gomez, and Elizabeth Olsen. Great cast, guys. As we know, Cumberbatch plays the titular Doctor Strange in the upcoming Spider-Man movie, Far From Home. So how will the movies connect? Well, we know for a fact there are multiverses coming into the MCU, so all this should connect neatly somehow. Well, we don't fancy predicting how just yet. What are your predictions for how they connect? Let us know below. The movie will be in theaters May 6th. And finally, some Punisher news. Some Marvel fans have voiced their displeasure recently at the franchise having the gall to change the Punisher logo. I mean, you'd think they owned it, right? Earlier this week, the new logo was revealed after it was announced the company would be publishing a brand new Punisher comic series. The Punisher's new logo, which can easily find online, features an updated skull imprint, and we, for one, think it looks pretty cool. It has horns coming out of the top and what we think are fangs from the bottom. What do you guys think of the new logo? Not a fan or loving the update? Let us know below. As always, thanks for tuning in today, and remember to stop by next time for some more fun and games. Why not share this video with any Marvel fans you know of? You'd be doing us a massive favor. Adios.